this first part here, I want to talk about 2024 games that we missed out on, games that we wanted to play last year, and either we purchased and just didn't have time to play, or we didn't even purchase at all. But yeah, ones we kind of felt like we missed out on. So I don't know if you want to jump in first, or you want me to share,
or if you want to. I have hang on.
Oh boy.
I should have grabbed this.
Okay, all right.
I should have grabbed it a while ago.
There was a lot of great games that came out last year, more than people give it credit for. I feel like I've heard a lot of conversations about 2024 being a rough year in gaming. I'm like, I don't know. There was a lot of fun stuff. It wasn't like a banger year, but there was still a lot of good stuff.
There was a lot of heat that came out that year.
Like, there was enough to keep me busy for the whole year. So there was stuff, you know.
Speaking of,
like Animal Well at the beginning, and I mean, just from there, Helldivers 2, like a month or so later, like so much fun stuff. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. What do you got for us?
One of my little, I guess, pseudo resolutions is I wanted to get myself organized and have a consistent, like, little tracker, I guess. So I've got a little notebook, and I wrote all the games that I'm wanting to play for this year.
Nice.
All in one go, so I can check them off, right?
Dude.
And then I can review them and kind of keep track of my thoughts and what I thought, you know, little fun blurbs about it.
Yeah, dude, that's legit.
Now, my only thing is, some of these are from 2024.
Okay.
Some of them are from before 2024. I'm going to go through and see if I can find the ones that are 2024.
Okay.
And maybe we can go through it that way.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So I guess my first 2024, I've already started it. I've already started it. I'm pretty knee deep in it. Is Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Ooh, yeah. You've been enjoying that one, right?
I've been enjoying it. I am at the, like, still, you know, in the early stages of it. But it feels like what a modern, like, Mario and Luigi game would be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I have been waiting for a little bit more humor to poke through.
Okay.
In the script as of right now. There haven't been a whole lot of, like, really, really good. There's been one that I remember cracking up at that was really good. But Mario and Luigi usually has a whole lot of jokes like that. That'll, you know, a lot of slapstick or a lot of situational humor. And I haven't gotten a whole lot of it yet, but that's not a bad thing. And I'm still at the beginning, so that could change. But everything else about it is firing on all cylinders. The design is great. The sound is great. Yoko Shimomura, you can't go wrong. She came back to do this one. And her and other composers, of course. But the battle system is phenomenal, just as good as the Mario and Luigi game should be. So I really have no qualms with it in that regard. Yeah. So I'm having a blast. I'm gonna keep playing.
Nice. Let me see. For me, one that I feel like I need to play just because it's like kind of a big tentpole title for Xbox. So this is kind of a big one right off the bat is Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. Okay. That one, I think I had said before, like, I'm not necessarily like stoked to play it. Like, that's why I haven't played it yet. Like, I'm not like, oh, I need to play it. I need to go get Game Pass right now and play it. Like, I don't have the time for it. I don't have, like, you know, and even like the franchise itself. But I feel like that's almost doing a disservice not playing it. Like, okay, Xbox is finally trying. They're finally put out a game. You know,
that's deep.
And it's reviewed, reviewed really well. Like, people are really stoked about it. So I was like, all right, I feel like I need to give it a shot. So then people aren't like all you do is bag on Xbox, and the one time they put out something good, you're not gonna play. You just keep complaining about it. So I was like, okay, I need to get in there so I can like, talk, and not just be talking out my butt, when I talk about Xbox stuff. But yeah, I mean, people are loving it. People love Troy's performance, the story, the gameplay. I have heard some interesting things though about apparently
spill.
Kind of the best way to play it is to kind of golden path it. I've read that in a couple reviews and like seen some stuff on like Twitter and stuff like that where people are like where you kind of like lose it a little bit and kind of drops points is it has like a little bit open world sections in some areas, but it's almost too obtuse and like it's not fun. So like just golden path it, just play the missions, don't explore basically. Like just do what Indiana Jones is kind of.
Don't explore in this exploration game.
I don't. Everyone says it doesn't do a great job. At least the few things I've read, it just sounds like they didn't do a good job with that. So everyone's been, what I've seen is kind of like, yeah, just mainline the story. Like it does that experience is a 10 out of 10. Like it starts dropping really quick and review points as soon as you start exploring. Like they almost didn't like polish that as much as it could or should have been. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I feel like if I'm playing an Indiana Jones game anyways, like that's what I would probably do is just mainline it. Like, I don't know, in my head, I'm surprised they even have those areas where it is kind of like exploring and doing random, like, because I pictured it basically being Xbox's answer to Uncharted, and Uncharted doesn't necessarily have like big open world, like explore now, So the fact that they threw it into indie was kind of like, oh, that is kind of interesting. I mean, it makes sense, but you think about the movies, it's not like they just go off exploring, for like 2 hours while he just wanders around like a jungle, like,
they still do stuff.
Like, like it's just like, okay, like I just feel like that's the, I don't know. That's just what indie's always been in the movies anyways, I mean, that's what makes movies exciting. Movies don't just meander. There's like bang, 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 bang. So it's like, oh yeah,
right.
Let's to be experienced that as a game. Some are saying this is probably like one of the best even stories in the past like couple decades, from Indiana Jones. Granted, they're going up against Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, which isn't hard to beat. And what was the other one that just came out? So it's not like 2 years ago. I forget what it was even called.
I know, and I even saw it too.
Or was that just last year? I don't even remember.
Good grief. No, I think it was the year before. You could tell me any year and I'd be like, yep, you know what, that tracks.
Soak7 in chat also says, yep, just mainline the story. So yeah, but I am excited to eventually try it. That's a game I feel like is worth jumping into at some point. Adrian, you got another one for us?
I do. My second one.
Sorry, real quick. I do want to say, for those of you who are in the chat, Soak7, Uncle Gamer, whoever's hanging out here, if you got games from last year that you feel like you missed out on, let us know. I can read it here live, and it'll be in the episode. So, you're here. You can be part of the show. Anyways, go on, Adrian.
You got it. My next one. I don't think this was. I know this was, though. #Blood.
Oh, yeah.
#Blood is one that I played at Day of the Devs.
Yeah.
It is a adventure vampire hunter / beat 'em up / RPG that's animated in the style of like a 90s cartoon. And it is some of the best animation as well as just kind of like art style in general that I've seen in a game in a good little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the mechanics that they're using here. It really does feel like an exploration, for lack of a better term. I guess you could just say adventure game. You're going to different areas and getting power-ups and fighting enemies and whatnot. Yeah, and they even give you like a little camera so you can take pictures of yourself and make little poses and take pictures with monsters or your friends or stuff like that, and then you upload them into the game's social media feed. Okay. And people will comment on it and stuff like other characters, and you get like requests to help people through your phone, stuff like that.
Huh.
So yeah, no, that game's rad, and I want to go back to it and I want to finish it, and it looks so good on OLED. So good.
I bet. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
So that'd be my next one, my next pick.
That's a good one. What should another one that I'd like to get to, but this kind of goes hand in hand with another backlog game, not from last year, is Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree.
Ah, yes.
Excuse me. People.
I loved. You never beat Elden Ring Prime, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I need to beat the original game and then get into this. But I loved what I played. Like, I put a ton of time in the Elden Ring. Absolutely adored it. And then I don't know. Initially, when this was coming out, Shadow of the Erdtree, like I was excited, but I'm like, it's just gonna be some little DLC. Is it actually gonna be worth it? But people were losing their minds over this. I mean, it freaking was nominated for Game of the Year, even though it's not even a game, right? So it's like
that'll always be a controversial thing.
So it's like, okay, there's got to be a reason for that, right? Like, it's obviously good. There's something that is incredibly.
It's Elden Ring. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's more Elden Ring.
So I feel like just because of that, I need to bite the bullet at some point and like just get through it. Like it's gonna be hard. It's gonna take me a long time, but it's like, man, like I have some real FOMO with that, you know, because it really is like, oh man, like I know like Elden Ring was already good. Like that was a fun game. I didn't have a chance to finish it because again, it's hard. And with having a podcast, it's also hard because like we have a podcast, so you want to like stay up on games. So it's like, all right, I got to put this down to play the next thing, so we have stuff to talk about on the podcast. And maybe I'll get back to it, maybe not. But yeah, the fact that this is absolutely this critically just got, and you know, by the fans, not even just critics, but everyone loved this game. It's freaking lost their mind over it. I'm like, okay, I have some serious FOMO. I need to finish Elden Ring so I can play Shadow of the Erdtree, because everything I've heard and even what I've seen, I've watched some streamers play through some of it. I'm like, oh, it does look sick. It does look like a lot of fun. So maybe one day, I don't know. We'll see if I actually ever get to it this year. But I do want to pick it up at some point, give it a shot. Let's see. Okay, we got one from Soak7 in the chat. Dragon's Dogma 2. Is that? That's the one that. Oh yeah, that's like the
Capcom.
Yeah, it was almost like, I don't know, everything I saw about it is like almost Baldur's Gate-esque. I feel like it's kind of like just, you know, that RPG style.
It's their answer to it, yeah.
Yeah, I heard tons of great things for it. It says had every intention of playing it, but the performance made me wait. Yeah, it did have some performance issues at launch, didn't it?
I didn't hear about this.
I feel like I guess I don't know on console specifically. Maybe it's on console, but I feel like I definitely heard like on PC like it struggled. But interesting. I wonder if they've cleared it up by now. I'd be shocked if they didn't. That came out pretty early in the year, didn't it? Or like in the summer? Because I don't remember.
I want to say like, yeah, mid-year maybe.
Yeah. Like
July, somewhere around there.
That's a good one. That is a good one. I honestly, again, when that was first announced and even before it came out, I wasn't really excited about Dragon's Dogma 2. But after it came out and just seeing like the cool characters people were making and like kind of like when Baldur's Gate 3 came out and like people are just posting like crazy clips of things happening and stuff. I'm like, okay, that kind of looks like a fun game, you know? It kind of, it's like, all right, I might need to check that out.
I can do this.
Yeah. Adrian, you got anything else from 2024 that you feel like?
My good man. I mean, you kind of touched on it too, but I'll reiterate. Oh, actually, I got a good one. Metaphor ReFantasio.
Oh yeah.
The newest game from the core Persona team.
I've only heard
over at Atlas.
Only heard good things.
I have heard nothing but exceptional things about this game. I expect no less from the Prime Persona team. So it doesn't surprise me at all that this game is as good as it was. Again, I'm waiting for it to come out on the actual intended console it's supposed to be on. And I will pick it up there and I will play it, and I'm sure I will love it to death. But that is another one that I am waiting on, waiting for them to get rocking. But everybody's waiting on a certain hardware company to go ahead and show their wares so we can get this show on the road.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one that I feel like I have a little FOMO because of how much people just like lost their minds over it. Like when it was first announced, I'm like, the name seems weird. Like it's like, I don't know what is it even talking about? What is happening? I know it's from the people who make Persona, but like, is it connected to Persona? Is it not? Honestly, anytime they showed like gameplay and stuff, I'm like, this looks like Persona, which isn't a bad thing, but I was just like, I guess I was more just confused by the marketing. Like, what is this? What is going on here? But then like once I started seeing more gameplay and like hearing people talk about it, I'm like, oh no, this game kind of sounds like it rocks, honestly. Like,
and it turns out
great.
It does.
Turns out it does. That one might be up there for me as well. Like I said before, like I have Persona 3 and 4 and 5. Yeah, I have 3 other Persona games I'd like to get through as well. I have 300 hours of other Persona games I need to play first before honestly, I touch that.
If it's those games, fantastic problem to have. Fantastic problem to have. Imagine if you had like 300 hours of, I don't know what, like Gollum or something. Then what?
300 hours of Gollum. Honestly.
I mean, I'm just trying to put things into perspective for you.
Oh man, if I ever quit the podcast, I think that's what I would do. I'd just turn and become a Gollum streamer and just
you'd be the only one. That'd be your niche for sure. You would have a market of 3 people.
I've never played it and I know it's terrible, but you know, Video Games A Comedy Show gave it Game of the Year last year. Did you hear about that? 2020?
Yeah, they sure did.
2023.
I don't want to bring it up because it's a hurtful memory.
Which, by the way, we didn't mention at the beginning of this episode, but we were on the 2024 Game of the Year. This year's. Gollum did not win this year.
Thank goodness.
But you should go watch, listen to part 1 and 2. What's up? Connor's in the chat actually says, "Sup, my boys? Have fun on the pod."
What's going on, my guy?
Connor and Jeremy and the crew. Oh, it's so many fun people. There was shenanigans.
All those funny people keep having our unfunny selves back, and I'm just like, man.
I know.
What did we do to get friends like those?
I know. It's always like so weird sitting there and being like, these are a lot of funny people. And then there's us just there, just existing.
We're just here because we know games.
But we're thankful.
Not funny,
we're thankful.
But we're here.
Thankful they have us. It was a good time. I might have gaslit July, or maybe I gaslit myself. I don't know. You'll have to listen to the podcast and let me know, because honestly, I don't know. I don't remember. All I remember, I tell you what,
July is a genius though, so he might have been playing you the entire time. You didn't even know it.
I
didn't think about
that.
I
haven't had a chance to even like talk to you about this, or even like Jeremy or Connor or anything, but like afterwards I was thinking about it, like it was just so wild. Like it was just sprung on me. Spoilers, I guess, not really, because it's like happens in the first 5 minutes of the episodes, but I don't even think they talk about it. It happened like right before, like they're getting ready to hit record, right? So we're getting ready to hit record on part 1 of Game of the Year. They're like, oh wait, we need someone to track vetoes. Garrett, you seem like an honest person. Do you want to do it? I'm like, what? Okay.
What? Sure, okay.
So
I'll
I'm
figure it out.
So, you know, rushing to like open up my notes app, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, okay. I'll try to keep track of them, I guess. I have no idea. Like, this isn't my show. Like, this isn't my system. I didn't sit down and
I don't know how this works.
I didn't sit down and make the rules with you. And you know, I've only done 1 year of this. I don't know what's happening. And then towards the end of the episode, there might have been a little little tension between me and July. Maybe I miscounted. Maybe he miscounted. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe miscounts were made on purpose.
Maybe they're made on purpose. But yeah, definitely go listen to part 1 and then tell me if I was right or July was right, because I'm still curious to this day, and I haven't had the energy to relive.
It's been heavy on your mind all break.
It has been, honestly. It just keeps coming up like, oh dang it, did I gaslight July, or did accidentally, or did I gaslight, who is right, or was I right the whole time? I don't know. No one knows. Oh man, good times. Go check it out.
Too late. It's already in the history books now.
Video Games, a Comedy Show 2024 Game of the Year. Part 1 and 2 are both out. So
love those rascals.
It was good stuff. I forgot how we even got on that topic. Oh, Gollum. We were talking about Gollum.
Yeah, we were talking about Gollum.
Soak7 in chat says Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is a one a lot of people overlooked, but it's really good. Yeah. That just came out last year.
Blue. I think so.
Okay.
Korean Blue Fantasy.
There's probably more games I'm not thinking of. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't actually do my homework. I don't have a list like Adrian does. But the last,
my list wasn't for the it just happened to work out for the show. It's
I know. Your list wasn't even for the show either, but it is helpful. But one other game that I feel like I really want to play is The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Me too.
Where you finally get to play as Zelda.
As Zelda in the Zelda game. What a concept.
What a concept. Although, I forget who was talking about it, but someone mentioned that even in the Zelda game, in order to like fight things as combat, like you still have to
turn into Link.
You still have to turn into Link.
I noticed that.
Like you couldn't just give her spells to like, shoot like a magic
offensive spells.
like a fireball or like a magic missile to shoot at someone. Like, no, you still just turn into Link. Like, oh my gosh. It's hilarious. It's so wild. But
I mean, what did you think? They were going to let a woman fight? Huh?
But I mean, everything else I've seen about the
age?
game, everything else I've seen in the game, though, like looks phenomenal. Like, I love that art style. It's such a fun art style. They used it with, what was the other game that the remake?
Link's Awakening.
Yeah, Link's Awakening. I don't know. It looks like a cute little game. I want to try that one.
I think it's going to be a fun time. That is also, again, another one that I'm waiting for to come onto the console it should have been on, so that it runs at a smooth 60.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things that I heard about it, was that it has a little bit of the same issues that Link's Awakening had, where in some areas it can have a pretty good dip, but because it's using the same engine, so it makes sense that it would run into those same issues. But yeah, no, I'm stoked for that one. And it sounds like from what I've read in the reviews that everybody's like, yeah, it's pretty good. So I'll take it. I'll take that.
Heck yeah. Like I said, I think that's kind of it for 2025, at least that I can think of off the top of my head. Those are kind of like the big ticket items, at least. Anything else you want to share from 2024? Or are you feeling pretty good?
Hang on, just double checking.
Just double checking. Ooh, 2025.
Oh.
2025.
Balatro.
Oh, yeah, dude, you gotta play Balatro.
Did not get a chance to play Balatro last year.
That's such...
I need to right that wrong.
Such a fun game. This is back to the Video Games, a Comedy Show Game of the Year discussion. Someone did kind of mentioned one of the reasons they didn't like it is because it kind of felt soulless, was the word they used. And I will kind of like, I'll give them that a little bit. Like, it is just...
Can you explain?
What's that?
Can you explain that
Yeah,
take?
Yeah. So that's what I was just gonna say. Like, I'll give it to them. Like that comment. Like, it's kind of partially true, but like not that. I don't think that necessarily taints the entire. It doesn't have to taint the entire experience. So, and I think what they were trying to get at, the only thing I can think of what they meant by that is so many other, like a lot of other deck building games. I don't know about all of them. I'm not going to say that because I haven't played a lot of them, but I know some of them. And like, I'll just give an example, like Inscription. A lot of deck building games, they will try to implement some sort of story. Like there's a reason you're doing this. There's a story. In Balatro, there, at least from the hours and hours I put into it, there's not a story. You're just playing a game. It is just gameplay.
I thought that was the thing though. Like that was the understanding that everybody had, is like, no, there's no story to this. It's just fun, a twist on poker. No?
Yeah, and exactly. And like, if you go into it knowing that, it's a blast. Like I loved it. I loved every second of it and wanted to, think about playing more all the time. And a lot of people felt the same way. That's why I also was nominated for Game of the Year, which is crazy. Right. But I think if you're used to other deck building games that have the story, like Inscription, or I guess I don't know if Slay the Spire does. I guess I just always assumed it did from what I've seen, but I don't know for sure. Like other games though, where there's like deck building and stuff like that, that kind of general genre of game, I think it's not uncommon, at least, to have some sort of reason for doing things, where literally this game is like, this is it. It's just the game. Like you just, play until you can't play anymore. Like there is an end, I think, like a canonical end, but I don't think it necessarily like credits roll kind of thing. It's just kind of like, oh, you've made it to a certain point, and that's technically where the end of the game is, but like gameplay just kind of continues. So yeah, I think that's what that person might have been coming from when they said that, with it being soulless. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, if you're looking for like another reason to connect with this, I don't know if you're going to find it. But if you're looking for an extremely enjoyable deck building, poker-like, roguelike deck building game, like this game is phenomenal. Like it has so many cool mechanics in there, from like Joker cards to planet cards to like there's all sorts of cool little hidden secret things that you're always constantly discovering, that it's just a blast to discover and explore. So yeah, it's a good one. I like it. I love it. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.